Hello guys, and welcome to another video. Today is going to be a little monthly reset. I probably should not have started filming this because my cat's eating. So you can probably hear him guzzling his food down because he eats so quickly. But this is gonna be a little monthly reset. I was planning on doing one for every month this year. And I was just planning it to be like resetting my reading journal and my bullet journal and picking up my TBR for the month and going over all the books I bought for the month. That was my plan, was just to be a kind of little bookish reset sort of vibe. But this one's going to be a little different because the day that this video comes up is also the day that I moved to a new apartment. So we also have a little bit of a life reset that needs to happen because today is 1 week out from that. So I have some like packing and stuff I need to do, which I might include a little bit in this video. So this one's gonna be a little bit on the longer side. I was planning on these videos being like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. But this one will probably be a little bit longer because I figured I would do all those things I said earlier, but also show you a little bit of packing and just give you a little bit of a life update on that front. So that's the plan. And today I am all cozy in my largest hoodie that I wear all the time and my pajama pants because it is snowing. It is quite literally blizzarding here. We have, I'm guessing, 4 inches of snow right now, which isn't a lot, but we are in South North Carolina, like almost in South Carolina. And I don't think we just moved here. I don't think it snows here a lot, so this is miraculous because it also snowed last weekend. But yes, so today is cozy, but I think this might last over a few days. So maybe it'll be in like actual people clothes come tomorrow. But for today, cozy is the vibe. I did actually make hot chocolate this morning and I made my own caramel. The caramel's a little buttery for me, so I'm gonna have to tweak the recipe and find something better. But it was fun for, you know, the cozy vibes to make caramel. And as you can tell, I've moved on to a cold drink even though it is cold outside. But yes, let's, now that I've given you a rundown, let's talk about me moving. I just recently got a seasonal job from now, which is February to August. So it's 7 months, so I did get an apartment because I could find a 7-month lease for an affordable-ish price. So I will be moving there. Everyone else who's doing the seasonal job lives locally, so they started this week because today is Saturday, so technically this week. So I'll be starting a little bit later, hoping I don't get too far behind, but I'm feeling really good about it and I am excited. So there's that. So I need to move. Unfortunately, because it's only 7 months, I will not be taking all of my beautiful books with me. I have sorted out the books that I'm planning to take, and then I'm actually going to bring this little bookshelf, but I think I'm going to paint it white before I go, and that'll be my bookshelf. It'll be sad, but you know, I'm very excited about the job, so I can withhold my books from myself for the job or something. I don't know. So with that being said, we're going to do everything that I said at the very beginning, and then we are going to be doing, I'm going to show you like the books that I'm planning on taking with me, so if you're curious. If not, you can just skip that part. I'm also going to take you on like some of my packing. So today I'm trying to pack like my short sleeve stuff because I'm not going to be wearing it. It's snowing, but I'm moving somewhere that's, right now it's not any warmer, but it should be a little bit warmer, a few degrees warmer, and then it'll definitely be warmer come the summertime. So I was gonna pack that stuff. I need to clear off this bookshelf so we can paint it white. I need to decide like what craft supplies and stuff I want to bring with me because I don't want to bring everything, you know. So those are the bare minimum plans. The first thing I'm going to do is work on my bullet journal. I have like done nothing. My start of year pages, blank. But we're gonna do the February pages in this video. So basically, I set this up, but I need to start a start of month. So I just do the month like this, like a calendar spread like that, just the numbers, and then I'm gonna do a brain dump page, which I didn't do in January, but I think I want one. And then I just set up one of these for every week. So let us get started on that because that's kind of gonna be the easiest, very quick. So let's begin this monthly reset. Yay! Okay, hi. Now that I have, well, gotten my cat out of my seat, and I have updated my, not my reading journal, my bullet journal. So it's got my, that's January. Wow, I can't flip pages. It's got my start of month page, which I need to do like a page here, but I don't know what I want to put on them yet. So I'm leaving them blank. And then this is a brain dump page just to jot down thoughts if I need to. And then this, so it has my priorities. So it's like the main things that I want to get done and then the other things I want to get done. And then this is a spot to log like when I do my hobbies or habits or post on social media. So this one's habits, social media, hobbies. And then I like to record my screen time down here, like it looks like that, but I need to wait until the end of the week so I know how to scale the side, you know. So I have done that. By the way, guys, it's still snowing and I think it's up, it looks like it's up to like 5 or 6 inches right now, and it does not look like it is slowing down, so that's really exciting and fun. But now I'm going to, oh, I did that. I also uploaded a Substack and my YouTube video for today because I'm trying to upload once a week every Saturday. I don't know if that's gonna be the same when I am working full-time, but you know, a girl can dream. But now I thought I could update my reading journal with you guys for the end of the month, and I also just spent like 30 minutes and read the last 50 pages of this book. So, open my reading journal, this page, I need to pull out my pens. I use a collection of Tombow dual brush pens, what they're called, or did I make that up? I don't know. And I have a key so I know what order I like to use them in, like which because I've organized them like an ombre, you know, and I like to keep them in that order because it's useful for some of the things that I'm taking notes on. So this is me going through that order. Just laying them out. So the first thing I need to do is my reading log, which I fill in every day if I read that day. But because I like to do it in the rainbow order, I've been like not doing it. I've been doing it in sets of 6 days because I have 6 pens, so I know where I left off in terms of color. You know, if that makes any sense. But I have not done it, but I have read every day this month. So I'm going to go through. That's Vincent. He was jumping. and add these in. So very happy to have read every day this month. We're off to a fantastic start for the year. Sorry. Oh, and in his basket he goes. There's a little basket on my cat tree and he likes to sit in it. He has not sat in it. He's had access to this cat tree for almost a year now. And it took him 11 months to realize he can sit in this basket. But now it's his favorite spot. Okay, last one filled in, and then the next thing I do on this page is I just color in one of these squares every time I read a book, and I just have it color coordinated for the month. So since I did actually finish Library of Fates, I will color in my 9th square, but not using this side. I'm going to use the brush pen side. And then I have one more book that I'm going to finish up for January, which is Owls and Other Fantasies by Mary Oliver. It's a collection of poems and essays. So I will have 10 books read for this month once we get to the end of it. And then the next page is my books read log, so I just put in all the books that I read. At this point I just use a G2 pen. Is that what these are called? Yeah, Pilot G2s. So I read The Library of Fates, and it is by Margot Harrison. And then normally I include my rating, but I'm not sure when I want to rate it yet. I'm gonna kind of like wait to fill out my book review of it and then decide on the rating. But I can fill out the genre. It was a fantasy and it was a physical book. And then my next page is my series tracker. This is not part of a series. Next page is my physical TBR. This was not a physical TBR book. I bought it this month because it's what my book club was reading for January. But that does bring us to this page. This is my book spot page. BRB really quickly. Okay, while I'm on the book spot page, I thought I would give you my book haul for January, which is, again, Library of Fates by Margot Harrison. This book, again, I bought because it was my book club's book of the month. We try to pick a book that released the month before so that, like, we're reading newer stuff. So that one released in December. And then this book I pre-ordered. It came out January 24th, maybe? Or I made that up. The last Tuesday of January. And I think it's also going to end up being our book club book of the month for February. But it is Women of a Promiscuous Nature by Donna Everhart. It is a historical fiction set in North Carolina about a woman who basically is kind of forced into like a mental health home. What do they call it? The State Industrial Farm Colony for Women. Basically, it's where they throw all the women who they don't like. So, I'm excited to read this one. So I need to write that on my book spot page because I did not before. Let me use my micron. So I have the Library of Fates already written on here, and then Women of a Promiscuous Nature I'm going to write in. So those are written in on these two spots, and then I'm going to color in Library of Fates because I read it already, which is fantastic. There we go. And then my next page is this for book bands. So I need to color this in gray. Basically, there's a square for every week of the month. Nope, every week of the year. And when I read a book, or if I buy a book, I'll color it in gray, but if I don't, I just color it in this yellow color. And Women of a Promiscuous Nature came out this week. And although I pre-ordered it, Barnes & Noble doesn't charge your card until it ships. So technically, I bought it this week, and then that other gray is from when I bought the Library of Fates. So I need my gray Tombow. I'm gonna color that in. I mostly just color it in gray so that I know that week has passed and I don't like mix up the weeks. And then the other portion is the ins and outs. So in January, I brought in 2 books, and I'm going to take out however many physical books I read this year, or this month, which I will check when we get to it. But I know I brought in 2 books. So, actually, do I want to do this in this pen? Yeah. I am trying to like keep everything to the same pen so I don't get confused as to whether I'm using this pen or my Microns. So, but I brought in 2 books this month. Here's that. I did it kind of thick. I don't want it to smudge. The next is my new releases page. I have nothing to do on that page. My wish list and Kindle Unlimited wish lists I'm gonna leave. My book club page, I do need to print out pictures. That's another thing. I have to print out book covers. But I don't know my star rating yet, so I won't fill that out. Nothing on this page. Nothing on my author backlist. I did read 1 book for my 26 and 2026, but that was at the beginning of the month, so I've already filled that in. I'm sure that's still dry. The next is my A to Z challenge at my book bingo page. I have not filled anything out in this yet because I wanted to, like, I've read some books that could definitely obviously fill out, but I don't know, I wanted to like wait at the end of the month and like pick ones because I didn't want to double dip and all this stuff. So, and I'm trying to keep this to physical books that I read this year, not ebooks. So I could do Ricochet, Addicted for Now, Thorn Hedge, and The Library of Fates, or Owls and Other Fantasies, which I have not finished yet, but I will. So let's see, what do I have in my book bingo? Oh, this is so scary. Like, what if I want to pick a different one later? Like, that's why I waited to the end of the month. It's so much pressure. It's not, but it feels like pressure. But I'm gonna do Addicted for Now for A, because I feel like all my other A's would be like A blank and blank. Like, the first word is the letter A. But Addicted for Now is more than that, so I'm gonna put that in. I'm just gonna write the title name, the book name. Okay, so much pressure, but it's done. I wrote Addicted for Now. It's really ugly. I wish my handwriting was pretty, but it's not. It is not pretty. I could also put in Ricochet, and I can put in Thorn Hedge. Do I want to put those in? I'm gonna leave Ricochet out because Addicted for Now is the same series, so maybe I'll try only do 1 book from the series, but I'll put Thorn Hedge in. Okay. Addicted for Now and Thorn Hedge are in my A to Z challenge. And then the Library of Fates starts with the, just T, Thorn Hedge, already done. Okay. I haven't read, and now I'm on book bingo. I haven't read a classic, haven't read Dual Point of View, Nothing Made Me Cry, nothing had found family, nothing was historical fiction, nothing I read in a day, nothing's been adapted, there's no horror because I don't read horror. Put it on there to give myself. Have any of them had a pink cover? I don't think so. An animal on the cover. Does Thorn Hedge have an animal on the cover? I don't think so. None of them have been a reread. I haven't finished any series. Thorn Hedge is a 1-word title, but it's kind of not, because in the book when they talk about Thorn Hedge, they do it as 2 separate words, but I think it's 1, so I'm gonna leave that one for now. Nothing is Grumpy Sunshine. I haven't had a 5-star. No sci-fi. Nothing has been LGBTQ. No hi. I have done a novella because Thorn Hedge is a novella, so maybe I'll put that in there, but I'm still undecided. Blue cover. Library of Fates is really more purple. And Thorn Hedge is a blue cover too. Anticipated release, I have not read any yet, but Woman of Promiscuous Nature might be. Recommended by a friend, no. More than 600 pages, no. Or myth retelling. Okay, nothing really. I know I could fill out novella or blue color cover for Thorn Hedge, but I also want to try and keep, like, do separate books for A to Z and book bingo and try and, so we'll leave it for now. But if I'm like 6 months in and I'm like, there's nothing, I can't do anything, then I will leave it. These are my statistics, the number of books pages. I'm gonna leave these for now because I still haven't finished Owls and Other Fantasies. And then this one is my genre tracker and my rating tracker. Basically, I just have a color for each genre and rating, and I just fill it in. I will fill out the genre for the Library of Fates, which is fantasy. I'm not gonna fill out the rating yet because I'm not totally sure what I want to rate it. I'm just gonna take my pencil to remember that I need to fill this one out still, so I don't accidentally get off kilter. And then nothing's a favorite book, no rereads. I do have this favorite quotes page. I have nothing to add from Library of Fates, but I do have one quote on it, and it is, "It never occurred to her to doubt her welcome. Such was the gift of a child raised with love," from Thornhedge. It was so good, like in the context, it was so sweet and so sad, but like good sad, you know? And then we are officially at the start of January. So I need to add to my bought list Woman of a Promiscuous Nature. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw that in. And then my next page, I need to update my calendar, which I still haven't added the days of the week to, but I need to. So I have Owls and Other Fantasies on here because it's a poetry book, so I've been reading it for a while. So I'm gonna fill that one out. And then the next book I need to add is Library of Fates. I can't speak. And I need that in this color. And I started that this day. Is this the right color? Did I pick the right color? I think so. I did not pick the right color. It's too late now. We are just gonna ignore it. We're gonna ignore it. I actually don't think I really read it for that many days. Maybe that's a lie, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay. And there's the calendar, all completed. And then this page I still need to wait to do. It is my statistics page because I still haven't finished Owls and Other Fantasies, and then my review pages. So I need to draw some more so I can do the Library of Fates and Owls and Other Fantasies. So I'm going to do that now. I will not make you suffer just watching me draw lines and write words. And then when I have my thoughts sorted on Library of Fates, I will come update you for that. So thank you for updating it with me. Okay, so I've got my thoughts all settled, and I think I have decided on a 3.5 star rating for the Library of Fates. I'm going to talk to you about it while I work on cutting out the Dutch door pages for my February spreads. I can't find the scissors that I actually want to use, so I guess I will be using these nicer ones, which is fine. I don't know. I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea. I'm so bad at multitasking, especially when I'm trying to cut in straight lines. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut this and not talk to you while I'm cutting. I'm not that. I don't want these scissors. I want long scissors. I'm sorry, I can't. I need to go find those. So let's talk Library of Fates. So it is a fantasy, magical realism fantasy, I guess. It takes place across 2 different timelines, and it's almost Dark Academia. But it follows our characters in 2 timelines. In one timeline, they are students at Harvard taking this class about their magical library, the Library of Fates. And there's this Book of Night that kind of keeps the magic in the library, and it allows the librarian to give you the book that like you need at that time. Like the magic gives you the book, but through the librarian, essentially. And the past timeline is following the students as they take this class, and the professor is like, oh, don't write in this book yet, you're not ready. And when they write in the book, they confess to it, and then the book like essentially gives them an answer to their confession. But it's kind of mysterious and darker, and the book comes from this sorcerer from Voltaire's time. So it's an old book, and it's got like a lot of lore around it. And then in the present timeline, that professor has died, and her son and her apprentice, the person following in her footsteps to take over the library, both were in that class, and they are trying to find the book because the professor, before she died, hid the book for some unknown reason. And we're basically following them through a scavenger hunt, but also seeing the past and all of the things that this book brought up for them. And I did end up giving it a 3.5, as I said. I just wish that it went a little bit deeper in everything. Like, I wish it pulled more into the Dark Academia. Like, it was almost there, but not quite. I wish we got more characterization for the characters. I didn't feel really connected to them. And there's like this big reveal at the end, and I just feel like we missed so much about getting there from the other characters' point of views who we weren't following. Like, I get we didn't have their point of view, but I just feel like there was so much we were missing about their motivations other than just grade, you know? So I just wish we pulled more into everything. But overall, I enjoyed the book. The plot twist was a little crazy. I'm not sure if I still totally know everything that happened. And like, it was a little confusing at sometimes, and I think maybe it's because it just took me a while to read this book, so I just kind of lost pieces here and there because I didn't read it all in one short time frame. But yeah, I am giving it 3.5 in this year. I know 3.5 to me is like, oh my god, I hated it, because normally 3 is like the lowest rating I ever do. But this year I'm trying to rate in the full 1 through 5 star rating scale. And I'm like, when I'm thinking about that, I know like half of 5 is 2.5, right? So that should be like your middle level books. But I feel like 3 is my middle level books. And this one was slightly better than like meh. So I thought 3.5 made sense. So in my new rating scale, I gave it a 3.5. And how I normally would rate books, I might have given it a 4. But I'm trying to like, reach all the levels. But I am now going to go through and cut these Dutch doors. Basically, so it looks like this page. This is my February start of month setup. So that gives you this little page with my little stamp and the month, and then my TBR, my book spot, and then my my calendar, and then my statistics page. So I'm just cutting these little flaps out. But I need to go find my scissors. So I'm gonna go do that. And yeah. It's messy. This is the reality of my life. Deal with it. It's the next day. It's much later the next day. It's like 4 p.m. because I did some shopping. Like, my dad has a Costco membership, so we went and got toilet paper and all that stuff. And then I did some knitting because I wanted to be productive, but like I just couldn't get myself to do anything. So knitting was the next best option. But now we're on the floor to go over all the books I'm bringing with me to my apartment. And then we're going to pick my February TBR from here. So let's start with these 4 books that I've got. These are the next books that I need to read in the Zodiac Academy and Ruthless Boys series. So I have 2 books left to read in the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac series. I'm like low-key over this series and I want it to be done. So I just want to finish these, but I don't want to read them, but I just want it to be over. And then I have 2 more books in the Zodiac Academy series, but I actually still need book 4. This is 5 and 6. I need to buy book 4. But yeah. Okay, next books. He's scratching. Y'all done now? Okay. I don't think you can see him. No, he's right here. Okay. Next books. These are the next 3 books in the Addicted and Calloway Sisters series. There's like 3 more books after these ones, but these are the next 3 that I have. It is Kiss the Sky, Hot House Flower, and then Thrive. So I'm bringing these with me because I'm anticipating reading them soon. I just finished Ricochet and Addicted for Now in January. So there's those. And then it's really not organized, my pile here, so just bear with me. I'm just grabbing what I'm grabbing. Ruthless Vows and Muse of Nightmares I was planning to read in January, and I just ran out of time with all this apartment stuff. So I want to read these and finish off these series. And then Elasto, this was on my winter TBR, so I want to get to this one. What else do I have? Women of a Promiscuous Nature, which is our book club book, so definitely reading this one. And then the Prison Healer trilogy, which I'm really excited about. I've been craving reading this. I don't know why. I don't really know anything about it, but I've been craving it for some reason. So I've got that. 6 Crimson Cranes. I want to put this on my spring TBR, so it's going to come with me. The Rose Bargain, because the Thorn Queen comes out. No, Queen of Thorns? No, the Thorn Queen comes out in April, so I want to reread this before then. I want to do a TDM reread soon, so I don't know if you can hear that. That's my cat standing on my laptop, pressing a button. Please bear with me. Okay, yeah, so I want to do a TDM reread soon with all my babies. And then I also want to do an Emily reread, so I'm bringing my Barnes & Noble editions because these are the ones I've been annotating. So reread for the Emily Wilde trilogy. And then From Luke Off with Love is also another book I want to reread. And then the final books, this year I want to read a classic or a nonfiction every month. So I'm just bringing all the classics and nonfictions that I have unread. So we have Little Woman, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Irish Myths and Legends. I don't really know. I guess this would be like a nonfiction because myths and legends aren't really, but it's like a historical thing. And then Many Things Under a Rock, which is about octopuses. So these are all the books I'm planning to bring with me. Now let's discuss the February TBR. I am definitely putting Woman of a Promiscuous Nature on there. And then Muse of Nightmares and Ruthless Vows. Just because that's going to finish up those series. And then I'd like to put Elasto on there because I want to read it in the wintertime. And Emily Wilde 1 because that's a very wintry book. And then I'm also going to throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 5. I'm going to put both Kiss the Sky and Hot House Flower on. And then I'll try to leave Thrive for March. And then I need to decide which nonfiction or classic I want to read. Maybe I'll do Many Things Under a Rock. I've been wanting to read this one. Yeah, this seems like a fantastic TBR. And then I'm also I pre-ordered Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter, which is from Heather Fawcett, who wrote Emily Wilde, and that comes out in the middle of February, so I will either be reading that in February or March. But yes, there's my TBR. Oh, maybe I'm gonna add Broken Fae, which is the 4th book in the Ruthless Boys series, so I can try and get through that. There's my TBR for February now. So, very exciting. And then I've got some other resetting things to do, so we'll get on to those. See ya in another clip. Hello, it is once again the next day. I come for my little update. I didn't do a whole ton yesterday. I figured out my books and then I worked on my reading journal and did a lot. Well, I guess I did do a decent amount yesterday. So I went through my reading journal and I'm flipping through it. I did like my monthly stats and stuff. So I did these pages. I think that's the only, yeah, and then I finished up just my start of month pages for January, so this, and then my TBR, my books bought, the cats are playing, I finalized my calendar, and I did the statistics page for, this is how far through my physical TBR I am. I think I'm at like 13%. These are the genres I read, my format, and my star ratings, and then these are my top books for the month. I'm thinking I'm gonna like journal a little bit here, possibly, but I'm not totally sure. And then I just have a bunch of pages that look just like that for my star ratings. And then this is the start of February. I need to paint a flower here. I think February's flower is violets, so I'll probably do that, but that's probably not gonna happen in this video just because I need to have like a solid amount of time to sit down and watercolor. And I'm really bad at watercolor, which is why I'm doing this, to practice. So I don't know if I'll get to it before I have to leave. And then I just cut out February with my Cricut, which I need to attach. And then I have my TBR written, which we've already gone over, and then I'll put any books bought in this section. And then my calendar is set up. February is a perfect month this year. Look at it, it's perfect. I don't know what I'm gonna do down here, because normally months are like much bigger because there's like a half a week here and a half a week here, but whatevs. And then this is my statistics page. You've seen it all fill out. And then that's just where I start my ratings. So I have gotten this good and set up. And then I also started Broken Fae last night just because this is a really chunky book. So if I can get through it before I have to leave, you know, it's one less book I have to bring with me to an apartment. I am about 150 pages in. Yeah, I'm 150 pages in. I think there's 680-ish pages. So my goal is to read about 120 pages a day so I can have this done before I need to leave for my apartment, or for my job, which is also for my apartment. So I don't remember. I finished the book that comes before this maybe in like November or October, so I literally have absolutely no memory of anything that has happened in this series at all. So I'm just along for the ride at this point. And then the other things I've done today is I've done a lot of packing. Can you see it? No, over there. I have a box with all my books packed now. I've got all of my kitchen stuff packed. I'm working on packing up all my bathroom stuff, like towels and that stuff. Toiletries I'll do later. I've got my yarn all organized and what I'm taking with me and what I'm not taking with me. My desk is mostly sorted between what's coming with me and what's not. So there's that. I'm sorry, there's something in my eye. And yeah, I'm not totally sure what else I will include in this video because I've really done all of the resetting tasks. You've seen a smidgen of packing, kind of, but really it's mostly been resetting. But yeah, I will come back either tonight or tomorrow with a plan as to whether or not I'm ending this video or I'm going to include some more, but we shall see tomorrow. Okay, hello, it is next day, Sarah. I return. I'm working on my knitting project, which is a step-by-step sweater. I literally just split for the sleeves. It looks kind of stupid because I can't hold it up, but I'm obsessed with the color palette. But besides that, I know yesterday I ended saying that I would, update you if I was going to film more, if I was going to make this the end of the video, and I did a little bit of editing, and low-key this video is so much longer than I thought it was going to be because I took you step by step updating my reading journal for one of the books, so it kind of took, that was there's 20 minutes of footage there alone, and I've literally not included anything about packing and moving, so we're just gonna end this here. I'm also a little panicked because today's Wednesday. But with all that being said, this video was a bit chaotic, but we did most of the reset things that I wanted to do for a month. So I guess we'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you spent some time also working on your journals and resetting for the month. And I will see you guys somewhere else on the internet. Bye!